Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, SalvationsElite. To my right is Sam, Bash_Bo3 on Twitter, and per usual to our farthest right is Rex ShadyNero. And guys, oh my word, he's flexing over there. Woo!
Shoot.
But you know how it is, man. We got a lot of big news to cover today. But before we get into any of the crazy wild, the reboot of the Call of Duty League, we got to ask, boys, what's going on? Rex?
Oh, Josh, I'm feeling right up out of my mind right now. I'm about to tear everyone to pieces with the predictions and my ways of going about life. I'm going to tear them up.
Oh, man, I'm very, very
Rex
scared.
just came from the Wild Wild West.
He took steroids and then he came from the Wild Wild West.
he was out prospecting, found some steroids in the river.
Oh my gosh.
And now we're here. All right, guys. Sam, how's life?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Actually, I'm doing really good. Not as good as Rex, as always, but
I mean, man, the news
today
makes things pretty good around here. So, guys, as you may have heard by now, the Call of Duty League is back. And not only is it back, it's back this weekend.
Wow.
We got CDL Dallas this weekend. And so today on the podcast, we're going to go through all the news, the scheduling changes, scheduling updates, some AM stuff, and some roster changes, some small moves. Yeah. And then we're going to predict CDL Dallas. So it should be a really fun podcast. Of course, you can check us out on Twitter at SalvationsElite for myself. To my right, Bash_Bo3 on Twitter, and Rex ShadyNero. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts, iTunes,
yes.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, of course. If you guys are here already, we appreciate you. And we'll be reading the reviews on the next episode of the podcast.
We're going to say that?
Of course.
For infinity.
Every single time.
Episode of the podcast, we will read those spicy reviews that you left. It's going to be good. All right, guys. So, okay.
So today, guys, we're going to be talking about the hottest operators. Now, number one, I think we have to get right down to it. Rodion. Oh my God, that guy. He makes you melt. He makes you sweat. That helmet of his. Just an icing on the cake, baby.
I don't even know what
guys,
this is.
What are your guys'
ambushed.
opinions?
We got into a Wild West showdown. And now we're here. But yeah, actually, the hottest operators saw a lot of love in the comments.
They did.
I hate you guys. Viewers, click off right now if you want hottest.
I need more hottest operators in the comments, please. I'm fighting for this. For you guys, we want hottest operators.
But, I mean, the deal is still on.
It is still on.
It is still on. If we are in quarantine in June, hottest operators are going to have to come out at some point.
Yep.
So, it's on. All right, boys. The news. The news. I'm gonna have to have an awesome news drop at some point. I'm actually trying to work on one. We'll see if it ever happens.
Hey.
But a lot of big news. Obviously, we'll talk about the big news in a second. We'll talk about some of the roster changes first, because why not? Off the rip here, the whole weird thing going down right now with the Royal Ravens, London. Nasty was supposed to Rated. Let's rewind the tape a little bit here. Rewind the tape. Rated got dropped a few weeks back.
Yes.
The report was that Nasty was going to replace Rated on the squad. Mm-hmm. And we were all like, okay, I mean, Rated hasn't been playing well. That makes sense.
Interesting. Yep.
In comes Rona, screwing that all up. The whole travel ban, everything else. Nasty's not able to get his visa, supposedly, to get in the United States. Which means they had to figure out something. Either they had to bring Rated back or something else. And they chose the something else.
They really did not want to play with Rated.
No.
Apparently.
So Shawnee, who was on the team, on the academy team, on the roster, is now in the starting lineup for the Royal Ravens. Supposedly he somehow made it to the United States, or was already in the United States, I guess. And so we'll see what happens to that. We don't know if he already has his visa or if he's playing, but it sounds like he's gonna be playing. So shout out to Nasty for Shawnee for making that happen. So he'll be in the starting lineup for London.
Sucks for
really
Nasty.
I was going to say that would suck.
Yeah, he got screwed.
When you have a chance and you can't.
You finally got your shot.
Oh, wow. Poor guy.
Yeah, but so that's gonna be one thing we're gonna be we haven't really seen too much of them. I mean, we saw Shawnee play Obviously, we've seen him in the open brackets this year and in the 1Ks and everything else, which we'll talk about the 1Ks in a second as well. But we don't really know how he'll play with the starting lineup. We haven't really seen it much. So going into like the next few weeks, they're not playing in Dallas this weekend though, so they do have a little bit of time to work together as a squad and get some scrims in and everything. Yeah. But that is something to keep an eye on moving forward. So we'll definitely talk more about that leading into the next few tournaments when they actually are going to be there, and after we see more scrims for them, because that's kind of like a recent change. So we'll talk about that more probably in the upcoming podcast. I mean, what are you guys' opinions on that specifically? Like, anything come to mind off the rip, or do you just need to see more of them before we make a decision?
Other than Rated must be just a horrible person.
Oh, wow.
I mean, for real though.
I mean, why would they not? I mean, they weren't a bad team at all.
No.
They were like,
I mean,
so they must really
he was
think he is
underperforming.
bringing them down as if like he can't get any better or something. Like, it's weird. So
definitely is, because like Ravens had I think they still
look
do
good.
have, they like look good. They fell short every single time. So like, yeah, that's probably why they made the change, because they can't close the deal, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
they made a contention for at least like a top 5, top 6 team. Like, they weren't the bottom of the pile. Like, they, so, and like, you feel like they could compete almost with like everybody. Like, you go into the game like Ravens have a chance,
Yeah, with Rated.
I suppose like Ultra going against, Huntsman. It's just like Huntsman's gonna win that. Ravens, it's like there's a little more doubt in your mind, maybe.
Maybe this is just what they need to get them over that little edge. So I mean,
if they can find their groove and it takes that Rated replacement, then it's obviously gonna be worth it in the long term. They won't think twice about it. But I'm definitely not convinced that this is the move that's gonna take for them to be like the next great team in the CDL. So I definitely am excited to see more of them moving forward, and we'll be talking about it more, like I said. Yeah. All right, let's go for the big daddy. The big daddy.
Man.
The COD League's back, boys. Party in the chat, GG's
so
to the Corona. I know.
Unexpected now. And
expectedly unexpected.
Yeah.
But
they
dropped
it to
it
us like a week before. It's just
all right. It's so weird. It's
like, guess what, guys? COD this weekend.
Friday. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so again, the schedule is basically staying the same with the same order of the homestands. I think they're still calling them homestands, which is kind of like,
I think so.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Home series, I think.
Home series.
Maybe it'll be more like ads and stuff about that team, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
And banners probably with that team.
Promoting
or like
that team.
or something.
Yeah. COD League is saying home series now. So.
Okay, there you go. Home series. So, so they'll be played now on 3 days for events, which I feel like, at least for a viewer, is nice, so you can kind of space it out, not have to like marathon so much on like Saturday, because like those events were a marathon on Saturdays. They're going for like 8 hours or something, and like you're really trying to watch all that COD, but like no normal person can watch that much in one day, and so
says you, but okay.
Well, I don't live a normal life right now, definitely not. But yeah, so now Fridays, it starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturdays are 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sundays are 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And that they said that'll be the same scheduled start date for every single tournament from here on out, playing in the United States. So, since, everyone's playing in the United States, so that's kind of like the first thing to think, like, that's kind of nice to have the same schedule for every event now. So we know exactly when that's going to be starting pretty early on. And all the same teams are playing at all the homestands. So what they had before, listed, same thing. It's going to be all the teams that were there before. I don't know what you guys feel about that. I mean, versus, potentially having all the teams there, or in changing it up in a different way. I mean, Rex, what are your thoughts on like the same format but online now?
Honestly, I think they should keep it the same format. I think adding all the teams again is like, it'll make it so like there's just a lot of games where I think it's good to have like that structure in place still.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be like the same thing. Now it's online. Most people watch on I guess YouTube anyways, so hopefully I think it's fine. I prefer it personally. But
yeah, I mean, like, versus like the alternative option, like, I mean, like, would you have been more excited if it was a full 12-team tournament now every single time?
I don't think I would, to be honest.
Interesting.
Because you even mentioned like getting to all the games, just having those extra teams makes it more even longer. So we're gonna have to watch games that like aren't particularly interesting to us, of like 2 really bad teams, and we have to like, at least for me, when 2 really bad teams play, or like when there's like let's say like the Ravens play Ultra, it's like I kind of already know what the outcome's going to be. That's the time when I go get a snack or when I go and kind of get on my phone or something, kind of zone out a little bit. Just because I kind of already know what's
that's usually what I'm sure that's probably what most people would say too. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, at the end of the day, like, there are pros and cons to both sides. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, but like with the bye weeks, you do get some interesting matchups and matchups that you wouldn't have otherwise seen, like that potentially give teams a chance to get into the Final Four, into the single elimination bracket that otherwise wouldn't have. Like in a 12-team tournament, you would never have seen the Mutineers get into the Final Four, like in Atlanta and stuff like that. So there is some variety for sure. So I agree with you on that aspect. I mean, Sam, where are you with it?
Yeah, I'm just my thoughts are, it's already so weird with going online. I wouldn't try to add
change too much more
difficulty to it.
That makes sense.
So just do what we know. I'm so glad we have something at least. Like I was of the camp of like, just give us anything for COD. Like it may not be perfect. Like this is already like the first league. It's already weird.
It's gonna be weird anyway.
But like, yeah, I think it's good to stick with what we know so far. Go to online dedicated servers, which
yes, that was the next thing. So that is the thing, guys. So if you guys didn't see this, the dedicated servers, in my opinion, is huge for like the league to like maintain its integrity and like not lose as much excitement or interest that otherwise it would have if teams were just hosting their own matches or whatnot. So there are dedicated servers now, which I talked about in the video I posted today, but basically, apparently Infinity Ward worked with Activision to create dedicated servers for these leagues, and we saw like the beta test for it on gamebattles and integrated into the game itself for GBs, which is really, really nice. And we didn't get that happened like right after the podcast last week. So that was big news last week actually for GB integration inside the game. And then now we get it for the COD League. So that's pretty exciting. They're going to run the tournaments through game battles now and do it that way. So I mean, in your guys' opinion, like, what does the dedicated servers mean to you?
I mean, more fair play, as fair as you can make it, probably. I'm hoping they're, I don't know, somehow giving them like the best ones.
Yeah, I mean,
which I'm
honestly,
guessing they probably are. So, but you already know there's gonna be complaints from the losing team about it.
Something's gonna go wrong.
Inevitably.
It's just it's just that they're gonna complain no matter what.
Yeah.
So expect that, guys, in the future. They're gonna complain about it. Don't be caught off guard, and just get on that wagon now of, yes, dedicated servers are ass. We shouldn't be doing this. They might as well cancel the league.
Yeah.
It's all the comments I already know I'm gonna be reading. But
so true. It's not even worth playing if it's online.
It's not even worth playing anymore. It's like this is as far as this is the best we could do right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that they're making the best dedicated servers that they can right now.
Yeah. I really do hope I see like more support than negativity. Obviously, there's gonna be trolls and everything, but like this is just the best we can do. Like we gotta do something. Like,
yeah.
I would rather have online. And I feel like the majority of pros would rather have an online something league to work towards
than nothing.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be some times where something glitch, lag, whatever. I get it, but gotta do something. Like I think we've all been dying for COD. Like it sucks. Like it's been sucky.
Yeah, I mean, like I talked about in the video, but like I think the dedicated servers was huge to like give the league the integrity it needs for guys who play COD a lot. Like for us and for many of you guys out there, like we know how sketch online can play, and like to the average casual out there, they'll be like, I mean, online, like if you're wired in, you're good. Yeah. Obviously, that's not the case. But with dedicated servers, it gives pros like less reason to complain. Again, obviously, something's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day,
you know what they really need?
Yeah,
they need ranked play.
But they do need ranked play.
Oh, that's a whole other topic.
There.
Yeah,
Put that out into the void. Let's get some ranked play in here.
All you Activision employees out there, or Treyarch employees, or Infinity Ward employees, whoever it is, please.
I mean, you want to get a wider base of people more interested in comp and everything. Get some ranked play, so the more casual people can actually get into it.
Could you imagine if they just dropped it right now?
Going on this website that is not even that great of a website. GB, like game battles, it's hard. Like
it's hard to navigate
for a new person. To go into that, it's hard to navigate. It's hard to figure out.
Yeah, it's confusing.
And then you're playing against people who've been doing it forever. So it's like ranked play is like the ideal, But
yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, like, could you imagine if they dropped it right now? The hype for like online COD right now. You just drop the ranked play. Now you're like, okay, we're playing online. The pros are playing online. We're all playing on dedicated servers. We're grinding this together. We're all in this together, baby. Pulling some High School Musical music right now. But like, yeah, that'd be dope. Oh man, I would. It'd be a waterworks show for me.
Don't know what that means, but
neither do I.
Right.
But yeah, I think the dedicated servers would play a great job. Do a great job, man.
Awesome.
It'd be great.
So
But like legitimately, like, yeah, I think like I said in the video, the biggest worry I had for this league was Dallas is going to dominate because they have awesome hosts. If they don't have awesome hosts, they have the best internet. The 1 gig internet matters a lot when you're playing on somebody's host. But with a dedicated server, obviously the internet helps. At the end of the day, it's always going to help. But I mean, most of these teams are going to be playing on 1 gig up, 1 gig down. Like,
yeah, you have to imagine these teams have already made the investment in decent internet.
Yeah, most of them at least.
You'd hope.
And like,
all of them. I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so I mean, like, I think that the dedicated servers probably matter the most for teams like the Huntsmen or teams where they're not centered in one city. Where like now they're going to get a way more fair host that will fully balance the lobby, at least in a better way than like what it would be if you weren't. So
as best as it can, because it's going to be
right.
Because the dedicated server is still located somewhere. So
yeah,
whoever's closer to that dedicated server.
But there's a more direct connection and less interference for guys who are trying to connect and all that type of stuff. So like that's how it. And at 60 hertz, we didn't even talk about that. 60 hertz is dedicated servers versus a custom lobby that was only 12 hertz. So we actually got that upgrade versus what we had before, which is awesome. So that's really great too. At the end of the day, so there's give and take, I guess. I mean, we're playing on 60 hertz servers now. We have dedicated servers for GBs and for the pros now online. So it forced their hand to give us that type of stuff, which is good. But still a long ways to go for sure. But I think overall, we're all really excited about the format and how it could play out. And I mean, I think it'll be pretty positive. They said like for the production, they're still gonna have the casters. Rich Campbell said he was going to be hosting at least most of these, I think.
Pretty
so
cool.
Rich Campbell will be doing some type of hosting. I don't know how they're going to do that. If he's just going to be sitting on his at his desk in his room.
He's going to be. He's got the green screen. He's
going
to be set up. And
weird,
Rich is like ideal for. I love
absolutely.
Rich.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, they'll probably send him like some type of like pull up like COD League like thing to put behind him, or it'll just be a green screen. I'll have a COD League graphic behind him, something like that. And then they said that they're sending all players player cams. I don't know how they're going to be able to set that all up in a week or how long they've been working on this, but that's at least really interesting.
That's
I mean,
cool.
The reactions, at least in my opinion, are like the best part of LAN play. You get to see the guys stand up, go crazy, talk to the other team. I mean, you're not going to get the pointing and like talking anymore or the direct taunts, but you'll at least get something.
What they need to do is have their opponents' faces right in front of them. Like what we have with Rex.
Yes.
And so they can just smack talk.
Stare right into their eyes.
They need to get a poster like Crimsix has.
Everyone has to have posters of all the teams.
That'd be so great. That'd be amazing.
No, yeah, but I mean,
the
that's
player
cool.
cams. I think honestly the player cams are gonna be really funny because it's like, how do you get hype when you're just like in your bedroom sitting there?
Yeah,
you're just like playing, like there could be kids that just be like dead, like nothing happened.
Like ILLeY, he'll just be sitting there, hoodie up, looking like the next mass murderer.
I hope we see like a bowl of like Cheetos or something in
the
front of somebody.
background. Their cat walks in.
You see their cat, like they got like a messy room.
Their dog just takes a dump in the back,
jumps on their face. They go freak out. That'd be amazing.
You know something's gonna happen. They're like, whoa, like something. There's gonna definitely be blooper reels with the player cam.
It'd be so great if someone's like mom walks in, like you can see,
honey. Honey, take out the trash.
That would be so great. Oh my word.
Mom, I'm in the middle of a $3 million league. Mom.
That's actually kind of crazy to say at home. But yeah, no, I'm glad that we are like, they're at least trying things. Like they're trying to send players cameras, and we'll see if it actually works.
I mean, maybe it creates for some type of like innovation in the scene, and like it allows for some flexibility where they can have some fun, like maybe in the off season doing like, even if there are like in the future of COD there'll be our LAN tournaments, but then in the off season they can do online show matches now that these guys all have setups, and like do some fun stuff with online tournaments that we can still watch and enjoy during the off season or something like that. Like it creates for extra opportunity to do something similar. So in that sense, I think it's kind of interesting. And overall, I'm still pretty excited, I think, for the league, and like it's gonna be a little bit different and obviously not as hyped. Like, I mean, my goodness, like last week we would have or this weekend, like just this last weekend, we would have been in Chicago doing the whole, having 8,000 Huntsman fans there, all rooting on the Huntsman. Like that would have been crazy.
So cool.
And I'm sure Dallas's homestand would have been really, really exciting too, with all of the Empire fans down there. And like, so that's a shame that we're not getting that. But here we are.
Here we are.
And with that said, the 1K.
The 1K.
Before we transition into the predictions, I wanted to talk a little bit about the AM scene. We haven't heard too much from. Obviously, we talked about last week the Toronto Open that they put on, but this time around, there was actually a really interesting 1K this weekend, and I was really excited like with how it turned out. It was really interesting because Singularity was actually playing in the NA ladder, so they weren't actually playing in Europe. They were here in the United States, so they played in the NA ladder. And they actually won it, which
crazy,
which was crazy. I mean, out of nowhere they pulled it out. So they beat UYU in the grand final. So to take home the $2,000 prize, obviously for first place, $500 for second. There's only the top two only make money there. Yeah. But UYU came in second, still with that roster of Cells, Rex, Infamous, Hollow, and Draza. And then FaZe Academy came in second. Still, they're still rocking like their core three. Or their core with Journey, Gravity, Jimbo, Venom, and then Siblings was playing on the team as well. And then the Parasite's team name was Back to Back to Back.
Oh
no! But they came in fourth place. They Spoof, Parasite, Zaptius, Glowfrosty, Pollux came in second, and then there was Fellow and company in fifth with a Royalty, Standy, Naga, Finfellow, and Dave in. For Dave Patey in fourth. So a lot of good, I mean, basically all the same names at the top here in the NA open bracket. And then the European side of things was also pretty interesting. But the War roster actually came in second to a roster of like some of like kind of unknown players. Afro, BBC Connor, Disarray, Fusions, Gizmo came in first, beat, Dave and company, the ex-War roster in second. So, really surprising, interestingly enough, that like War is able to take that home. Keep your eyes on that. And then like overall, I mean, I just thought it was really, really cool just how Singularity was playing on the NA side and still took it home. Yeah. It just shows how dominant they are right now.
They're insane, which is cool. I mean, it's cool to see like a consistently dominant team.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Corona, you'd have to assume that at least some of them, one of them, would have gotten picked up by now.
Yeah.
So they really got to feel the effects. It's like it's actually wild that none of them have got picked up at this point. I mean, you guys have any thoughts on that as a whole, or like taking it at face value? Like, where are you guys at with the whole AM scene right now?
I think the AM scene's gonna wither, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, no, it's like now that there's no like challenge, like no LAN events or anything. If they're not streaming it or casting it, people just aren't going to care. I mean, there could be players that get picked up from those AM teams, but I think that's it, to be honest.
So, I mean, I was going to talk about the AM scene with the announcement as well that came through. That was kind of like the next thing to talk about, obviously. Again, the news segment, I kind of just rant, how it goes. So, yeah, I mean, from the AM side of things with the announcement, so I thought we'd just wait to talk about this till we talked about the AM scene. For challengers, it's pretty interesting. So they're still going to have the same tournaments alongside, like with every homestand, they had the open bracket tournament. They're still going to have basically glorified 2Ks every weekend for when there is open bracket or when there is a COD League home series or whatever, what it's called now. So there'll still be like the $10,000 or the $15,000 prize pool challengers events when it comes to those weekends. Then they said there's going to be an additional 5 $50,000 bigger, grander open bracket tournaments that are going to be played as like basically big 2Ks, glorified like magnified 2Ks to a whole new extreme, $50,000 prizing. And they said there is going to be some sort of coverage for the $50,000 tournaments. There's not, I think we're going to stay on the same pace as we were before with the challengers stuff when it comes to like the weekend tournaments. But for the $50,000 tournaments, they said there's going to be, they said a broadcast. I'm not exactly sure if that means a full like team casting this thing or if they're going to have like a summary type situation or something like that. But there will be some sort of coverage at some point, plus five
That's
$50,000 tournaments that are at least guaranteed at this point. So that's good to see. Hopefully we're holding out some hope for like a big tournament near the end of the year, like paired with COD Champs. Hopefully COD Champs can be a LAN in like August or September. But I mean, like, what are you guys' thoughts with that information? Like $50,000, 5 tournaments plus the tournaments that they got right now. So we actually have more announced open or AM scene tournaments than we did before, just that they're all online.
Yeah, I definitely share your sentiment, Rex. With just like it seems like the AM League might not mean as much anymore.
Yeah, because the open brackets.
Yeah, because teams are probably not going to be picking up anyone right now, just with everything going on.
Yeah.
However, it is cool to see that the people that are in the AM brackets will be able to at least compete for money. You know, be able to like shine and stuff like that. But in regards to like them transitioning into the actual CDL league, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Interesting. See, I feel like I might have the opposite view.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, Rex, what are your thoughts, Rex?
I mean, yeah, it's good they're doing the tournaments. Helps these people stay alive. I mean, I still think teams can pick up players. Maybe the 50K tournaments, 50 grand tournaments, if with the casting, if it's done right, maybe can bring some more attention. But even then, it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't hold that gravitas. So, I mean, only thing you're going to be expecting out of it is when you see someone really has to shine, I think, in the AM League, like specific personalities and players have to come out. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be what it is.
I guess I'm kind of coming at it from more like a cash flow. Like,
maybe they're just not willing to spend the cash.
I don't think they're willing to spend. Like, I'm not saying it's because the people aren't, like being amazing. I just don't know if, again, I don't know, but behind the scenes, technical business side of things. But I could imagine that the COVID is kind of hurting cash flow right now for some orgs, and so maybe they're not willing to spend buying out contracts and making new ones for players. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, that's definitely possible.
That's kind of where I came at it, but I can definitely see that.
Because, I mean, there was an announcement that Toronto, I don't know if you guys saw that Toronto's esports org, basically the org that Splice sold themselves to, had to cut, like, I think it was like 10 or 15 media guys.
Yeah.
So they lost their jobs, unfortunately. So it was definitely affecting at least Toronto's side of things. I don't know about everybody else, but like, I guess from that point, I could see what you're saying. Yeah. But like, my thought process is like, all right, well, now there's less hurdles for AM players this season to like make an impact. Like we saw like Shotzzy and ILLeY kind of choked on the main stage their first event, and like it was a struggle start for them to get acclimated, and like, in that situation they had to move. But now if you pick somebody up, they don't have to move right away. Yeah. They're playing online. These guys, the AMs, they're fully used to playing online. All they do is play online.
Mm-hmm. True. True.
So like maybe, you if you pick up one of these guys now, you can literally just sub them right into your starting lineup playing online. And like, I know we're going to talk about the Guerillas soon, but like Vivid, Spartan, Blast, they've looked pretty comfortable playing online this past week and a half or so.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that might affect more AM players than just those guys. Like, if they just get subbed in right away, they don't have to worry about competing at LANs. They can just play how they like to play online in their tournaments that these GB stars all love to do, and there they get off where they go. So it's kind of like that's where I come from it there. But I see your point with the cash stuff. That could definitely be a factor. Rex, split the difference. What side do you lean more towards, Sam's or mine?
I mean, I don't know. I think that they can pick up players still. I mean, I just don't think it's going to do well, to be honest. Like, just the challenger scene's going to fall unless a personality comes out of it, or there's like some all-star that joins a team and is really good, maybe.
But do you think it's more likely that players get picked up now or less likely? Because I think it might be more likely.
I mean, Sam might have a point with the whole Corona thing, because like they depend on sponsors. Depends how sponsorships do, how much money these orgs can make. Otherwise,
how much investment
it's kind
they have.
Of like they're just trying to sustain right now. So, buying out another contract while also paying the other guy still with their contract that there's not even playing. It just like, at least for now, it's like I don't think anyone's gonna be doing that.
Yeah, that's possible. That is the aspect that's kind of hard to predict.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We just don't know.
But all right, guys, now it's finally the time. After all this time, we're transitioning into the predictions.
Man, it feels weird to be doing a prediction.
The predictions. We're back, boys.
Been a minute.
Woo! The predictions. Max out the cameras or max out the audio here.
Let's say predictions one more time.
The predictions for CDL Dallas. Boom. As you guys are seeing on the screen here. Look at that beautiful,
Love it.
Beautiful bracket.
Wow.
So we're going to be going through all the teams here. We got them all here. The pools for this tournament are the Mutineers, Ultra, Empire, and Guerillas in Group A. And in Group B, we got the Surge, the Legion, the Huntsmen, and the Rokkr. So a pretty stacked Group B. I mean, the worst team's the Surge. We'll see. Maybe not.
We'll see.
But, based on public opinion, the Surge are the worst team in that bracket. And the Surge have an uphill battle in the B side of things. A side is a little bit more open. Obviously, the Empire got to be feeling at least pretty good about their chances to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But let's go through this. Let's start out with the Group A side of things, get the A side knocked out, and then we'll move down to B, knock out B, and then go down to the single elimination. So let's start with the Mutineers versus Ultra matchup at the top here. Rex, lead us away in the first prediction.
So for the Mutineers versus Ultra, I think I gotta go with Mutineers. I just don't have a lot of hope for Ultra right now, to be honest. They seem like they are decaying. I don't really know what's going on with them anymore. Mutineers have been shown to be somewhat strong. I think they got Pharaoh now, and I think Pharaoh's a big pickup. So I think Mutineers will still win that.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly with Metals supposedly coming back with Looney. Or for Looney, I mean, Looney has not been playing well, so I could see that working out for them where they can improve. I mean, where are you guys at with the Mutineers right now? I'm not that confident in this roster at all.
I'm not confident in Mutineers, but I'm definitely
not confident in Toronto.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mutineers are going to be worse, but I don't think they're going to be so bad.
I am very excited to see Pharaoh. I would have loved to see Pharaoh and Prestinni on the team
with some practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's more of a which one am I absolutely not confident in, and that's going to be Ultra. So
yeah,
Mutineers will be the one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the Mutineers as well, but I don't feel great about them moving forward, and that might show in my picks later on here. But all right, Empire, Guerillas. That was not that was bad accent.
Easy
there. Wow.
Empire.
Yeah,
that is not even a question. Guerillas, only thing they got the 3 new guys who are like these AMs, and maybe they're online gods or something. But Empire's also shown to be pretty strong.
Empire's online gods.
So Empire's got to take it, right?
Absolutely.
Sam, you agree?
I am fully agreeing.
Nice. Rex, you need to put your picks into the doc here.
They're in there.
In the
actual doc.
Final.
This is the rough draft.
He records the screen.
I record the screen of the new doc so they don't know what we put in.
I don't have the final.
It's at the bottom.
Here it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I mean, Empire Guerillas, I'll be honest, I'm kind, if I didn't already give away my hand, I'm kind of on this Guerillas bandwagon.
Yeah.
Almost already. I don't even, there isn't a bandwagon at this point, but I'm kind of hopping on. I might be creating the bandwagon.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I'm pioneering
the bandwagon.
I'm on the Oregon Trail.
You're on the Oregon Trail with the bandwagon.
Oh my word. I'm the Guerillas Oregon Trail leader.
You're going to die from dysteria.
But I'm not taking the Guerillas against the Empire. All right, let's go Empire. So that brings us down to, a Mutineers Empire matchup first, and then an Ultra versus Guerillas matchup in the losers bracket. So let's start off with the Mutineers Empire. Sam, who you got?
Empire. I don't think. Well, maybe you think. I don't know. I just feel like Empire look really good. Again, we have had a break, so there could be some weird things going on this first weekend. I
mean, that is something we could definitely talk about. I mean. Yeah. We don't know how some of these teams are going to play online. We've seen scrims, so we can base it off that. But when you're playing on 60 hertz servers with dedicated to 60 hertz servers, things can change. Gunfights can just not go the way they were going before, and things can change. But I don't see it affecting this one.
No,
I've got the Empire as well.
I think Empire are going to look very strong this weekend.
Yeah, I'm expecting the Empire to look pretty dang good, especially early on. against like the Mutineers and against Guerillas. You in the same boat, Rex? See you filling it in already.
Yep, let's go.
All right, so there's the bracket right there, guys, for you on YouTube. We got Ultra versus Guerillas up next. I mean, I don't know where you guys are at, but I'm pioneering this bandwagon right now on the Oregon Trail. We got the Guerillas going through. I really think, man, that like we saw them the last time we saw this roster the first time off like what, a week of practice at most, and like they didn't look good. But now you're playing online where these guys are comfortable. I mean, Blast this is where he thrives online.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was hating on Blast in some of our previous podcasts, but when you're online, I'm okay with Blast. I'm actually kind of behind it. And Vivid, I think he can be nasty, especially online. And so I'm liking Guerillas to beat Ultra here. Give me it, baby.
I'm going with Guerillas.
Guerillas.
Yeah, I think Guerillas with the 3 new guys, to be honest, the 3 new guys give me kind of hope for them to think that they actually might end up being pretty good online.
Kind of the similar reasons, right? I mean, like we haven't seen them. We see them off 1 week of practice, man. Join the bandwagon, Sam.
No, I'm not going to.
You're picking the Ultra?
I'm picking the Ultra.
Oh, my word.
I'm going to be a little different.
Guys.
Do we think Metals is starting?
Yes.
Because Metals is really good. And I think people have forgotten Metals.
Well,
I don't think he's that good.
3 wins for you.
I think he can be good. Maybe he's a dark horse, but I don't think he's going to be able to carry that team against the Guerillas.
Maybe not. All I know is I think this is going to be a close game.
You're trying to burn this bandwagon
closer, man.
down.
I am trying to be,
You're digging the trench in the road.
I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there. Look.
Is my wagon going to tip over?
Do you think either one of these teams is going to go farther than the next?
Did a bullet ricochet?
Oh my gosh.
Did I shoot myself after a bullet ricochet?
Ultra for me. Sorry if I'm different.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow. Did I get salmonella?
Oh my gosh.
Is there enough penicillin left to survive? Just another dead joke here. Wow.
All
right, Mutineers, Guerillas.
You beat that horse and then you shot it 20 times.
Very fitting.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, wow. So anyways, Mutineers.
You're beating my horse and shooting it 20 times.
Mutineers versus Guerillas. I think I'm going to go with the Mutineers. Guerillas with the 3 guys, they're kind of wild cards for me, to be honest. But I think the Mutineers have just more veterans in the game, and they have a showing of being able to be kind of strong. So I'm going Mutineers against Guerillas.
I'm on the same boat. Same.
Well, I'm on my own boat crossing the Mississippi River.
Bro. What is happening?
Guerillas, baby. No, actually, okay, so if you guys saw this week, Guerillas were playing Paris. They were splitting maps pretty evenly with Paris the whole time. Then tonight, they were playing OpTic. They were playing the Huntsmen. And, I mean, I know the Huntsmen definitely weren't taking this thing as seriously as they should have been. But, like, they were kind of getting taken to the woodshed. Like, to the stable.
Yeah.
And getting taken to town. I just don't know if I believe in the Mutineers roster. Like I said earlier, I think I like Pharaoh's a player. I'm not sure if this roster has the right pieces right now. I mean, I like Skies where he's at, but I don't know if Mox, Havoc, and Frosty are the right combo to pair with Pharaoh and Skies to win. I mean, obviously, if they're going to beat someone, they're going to beat the Guerillas. And maybe I'm completely overblowing what the Guerillas can do. I'm not on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I'm taking the Guerillas.
Okay. Have we moved past the
I don't know.
theme?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay. We will see if that comes back up.
All right.
Here we go. So down to Group B, boys. Down to Group B. We got the Surge and the Legion here, and the Huntsman and the Rokkr, the first 2 matchups in Group B here. So this is the bracket for you guys to see here. Where are you guys at with the Surge Legion matchup?
Man,
go for it.
I was going to say, I would love to see Surge come out strong here. It'd be so cool. I just don't know if they are going to. Legion, to me, have been like a pretty like you can count on them to be like
Yeah.
that team, and Surge just hasn't been that way.
Online though.
But see, that's the thing is,
Do I believe in Paris online?
does like Karma and like Apathy like
Online, do
they come out and just
maybe they're guys who are permanently playing on LAN, so I don't know. This matchup is real. This is probably the most interesting matchup for me in the first round. Well, Huntsman Rokkr is pretty dang interesting, but when it comes to like, I don't really know how in the world this thing could go. Surge and Legion is really interesting. Rex, where are you at with it?
Yeah, it definitely is interesting. I think for me, I'm gonna go with Surge. I guess like it's that thing. It's like I don't trust Legion online. Surge has those veterans. They've had a lot of time to rethink things.
Yeah.
I feel like online has the potential for like one person is able to carry a lot more. So I don't know. I see Surge beating him.
No.
Legion
Sam?
usually has like some sort of crowd behind them, but now it's like they're gonna have nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think pure talent on Surge is just gonna win it. To be honest.
I know. Part of me thinks in like
they've had Surge have had so much time.
I know.
Right? If they're ever going to win something, it's with Pander finally like making it. Are we all gonna pick Surge?
I think you guys have convinced me. I'm picking Surge.
I'm picking Surge.
It's gotta be. Like,
Is this a bandwagon?
it might be. Okay. Nope. Yeah.
Seattle's?
Surge. Cool.
Seattle.
Okay. Moving on.
They're real close to Oregon.
Please.
No. Jokes. Okay. Huntsman Rokkr. I mean, this is a really interesting matchup. Obviously, what we want to see is Huntsman Rokkr in this series. I would love to see this a rematch later in the tournament. I'd love to see this be the final. Huntsman Rokkr be really, really interesting. I don't know. This is probably the closest matchup in my opinion in the first round. It's either that or the last one. I don't want to be the first one to pick here. Rex, pick.
I got this. So I have a hot take to take here.
Okay.
And I'm going with Rokkr is going to win it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to tell you why. I think Huntsmen have been becoming really relaxed with this time off and complacent. I think Rokkr has not taken that approach. Rokkr has been talking about how great they are. And so I see Rokkr coming out with a lot more fire than Huntsman and catching Huntsman off guard and beating the Huntsman.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, this is as tough as it gets for like a pick. I think I'm gonna trust the Huntsman. I'm gonna trust the Huntsman to play to their ceiling here and where they can play as a squad. But like you said, Rex, I'm not convinced that they've taken the offseason as well as the Rokkr have, but maybe that's just because we've seen the Huntsman just playing. We've seen the Huntsman, play Warzone, play other games, do slot machines. And we haven't seen the Rokkr because the Rokkr aren't streaming. So maybe that's just because we just haven't seen it. But I'm gonna stick with the Huntsman.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, let's talk about bandwagons again. But anyways,
no, I think Huntsman. It's gonna be a close match. Like it's just.
Would you be surprised if the Rokkr win this?
I wouldn't be surprised if either one.
Not one
wins.
bit.
No. But I'm relying on Huntsman being just the stronger team.
Yeah, the online aspect's just a whole new
the
curveball.
The online is, and like who knows, maybe like Rokkr like have been feeding off of the crowd energy. I don't know if they play better. Like we may see people play better on LAN than online. I know it's crazy, but Formal has historically been playing better on LAN than online. So.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like that's the possibility, but I'm just going to go with Huntsman again, though. I'm not surprised if Rokkr win it. Just honestly.
Yeah, dude, in Skrapz tonight, Formal was getting smoked.
Yes, especially if he's running sub, which...
Oh, well, yeah, we didn't even talk about that. The supposed role change for the Huntsman there.
Formal's a sub, and then...
Well, Formal's a flex now, and Arcitys is the main AR, supposedly. We'll see if they stick with that. That's to be decided.
So Envoy is still running sub.
No, he's
a flex. So we don't.
Well, Envoy was. Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's. Well, we don't. They were kind of. I think they're just experimenting. I'm sure Envoy's still gonna be their other main SMG. But he's technically a flex, I guess. But
Yeah.
he'll play
AR.
SMG.
It was weird.
Okay.
It was a weird match.
Yeah.
Cool.
So me and Sam got Rokkr and Legion in the. I guess we'll start with the Surge Huntsman and then go down to the Rokkr Legion. So, me and Sam have Surge and Huntsman in the winners round, coming out of winners there, and then Rokkr and Legion in the losers side.
Yeah.
And
So-
I have Surge and Rokkr winning.
Surge and Rokkr.
And then
That's right.
Huntsman and Legion on the losers bracket.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's start with our Huntsman Surge here.
Yeah.
Where are we at with this? I mean,
I think Huntsman.
it's going to be the Huntsman, right?
Huntsman will take it. If Surge get to this point,
If the Huntsman beat the Rokkr, I'd be feeling pretty good.
yeah, Huntsman definitely take it. For me at least, I think again, like you're gonna have some. If Surge get this far, that means that they are gonna be pretty good online. So like they will.
If Surge beat Legion,
yeah, so they will put up a fight. But again, if Huntsman beat Rokkr, Huntsman are looking really good.
yeah,
too.
this could go either way. I mean, would I be surprised at all if it's Legion Rokkr here? Not one bit.
Yeah.
Like not one bit. And we could see Surge Huntsman in the loser side. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's the case. I mean, somehow we all took Surge to beat Legion. I don't know how in the world that happened.
I know.
But yeah, I'll take the Huntsman. But I agree with you. If the Surge win against the Legion, I think they're going to be a pretty competitive team. I mean, at that point, like anything's possible. Rex, where are you at with it? Rokkr, Surge?
Rokkr.
Yeah.
Easily Rokkr.
I would expect whoever wins the Huntsman Rokkr game or match to beat the Surge
Yeah,
and
for
head through. But again, I do think the Surge have a shot if they beat the Legion. But there's a world where they just get smoked by the Legion and then
they just lose.
and they're literally just hating themselves once again at like every other tournament so far this year.
Yeah.
So loser side of things, Sam and I again have Rokkr Legion. Again, this is easy. Rokkr for sure going through.
Yep.
The God RX Alex combo right now for me is just too good. I love it so much. And like it for me, the Rokkr are the most fun team to watch for me right now. I really, really enjoy watching the Rokkr. And I'll be excited to see what they can do this tournament. Hopefully they can make it out with looking like I might be setting up for that. Rex, where you at?
Huntsman easily beat Surge.
You mean
Doesn't
Legion?
really need an example. It's just Huntsman are going to beat them.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean the Legion?
Or Legion.
Yeah.
But we'll
Because
get
they
to
play
the
Surge
part.
next. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that sets up the Surge Rokkr for me and Sam, and then Surge Huntsman for Sam. Are we all putting through the
Correct,
teams
yeah.
we expect to be going through here?
Yes.
The Rokkr and Huntsman get out of the group on both sides. Yeah, I mean, it just feels like they're a tier ahead of all the other teams at this point. Again, man, we're just banking on online playing how we expect it to play, similar to LAN, but anything is truly possible. So we all have Empire coming out of the winner side, which sends them down to the Group A winner. The Group B loser is the Rokkr for me and Sam. For Rex, it's the Huntsman. And then, I got to go to the bracket for you guys here. Sorry, YouTube. And then we got the Huntsman and Mutineers, or not the Huntsman, Sam. Oh,
Group B winner. Yeah.
Group A. Oh, I'm so dumb. Huntsman. Wow. Yep, there we go. Huntsman and Mutineers.
Yeah.
In. Well, I don't. I don't have Mutineers.
I was gonna say
I am
something's different.
on the trail.
You are on the trail.
All right. So, Empire Rokkr, Empire Huntsman for Rex. This is interesting,
This'll be
especially for Rex.
Yeah.
He's got the
it's gonna
Empire
be a
Huntsman
really
matchup
fun match again. I love this matchup.
Can Huntsman beat Empire for a fourth time?
for a fourth time in Rex's scenario here.
Already got my
Rex.
answer. Empire is going to win this.
Oh,
Rex's
man.
boys go through.
Like I said, I think Huntsman is coming in underprepared, and I think it's going to be Empire to take it.
It's just really interesting.
This
'cause,
is
like,
real tough.
a lot of these matchups, I'm not like I wouldn't be totally shocked if Empire won. Like,
No, I mean, so
like,
the Empire beat the
them
Rokkr.
4 times in a row would be so hard.
Right. What we got with the Huntsman?
Yeah.
I mean, Empire Guerillas or the Empire Rokkr for us. I mean,
Yeah,
the Empire beat Rokkr in LA.
Yeah.
But like,
That's such
do
a
you
long time ago,
expect it?
though.
Do you expect it again? As
I
now it's a
know.
few weeks back already. Like,
It was a while ago.
a lot can change. I wouldn't be surprised either way here again. This is a really, really fun matchup. I'll be pumped to see this Empire Rokkr matchup go down on Sunday. I'm going to send the Empire through, man, but like, oh, that hurts. I would love to see the Rokkr win this. I think at the end of the day, the Empire are going to be really comfortable. They've got, but at the same time, like they're coming off the win, man. The positives and negatives are flowing through my brain right now. I don't know. I mean, Sam, where are you at with this?
I might take Rokkr here.
See, the more I think about it, the more I want to take the Rokkr.
Like
because okay, what's your reason?
My reasoning is so it's hard because Empire, yes, are known to be online. They all in a central hub.
Yeah.
But like I just think Rokkr are going to win a home series.
Yeah.
And I think like if they get this far again, like do they lose it? Like I don't know. I just feel like there's something about the Rokkr that it's just hard to put on paper. It's just this weird synergy that's going on with them.
So one thought I have with like dedicated servers, I truly don't know how it works. Like the dedicated servers, like let's say the dedicated servers, they exist in certain cities, right? I mean,
think so.
That's how it works, right?
It tries to pick the best server for everybody, but it's always going to favor somebody.
Yeah, because I mean, like you'd have to imagine there's dedicated servers in Dallas, in Chicago, in like Denver, in maybe like Los Angeles, New York, maybe Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But like, would a team like Minnesota, like if the Minnesota's playing Dallas, is it in Chicago? Is that the main host? Like, therefore, the Rokkr have an advantage because they're closer, or like. I honestly don't know how that works out. So
it's gonna pick the one that's like the most in between. As far as I know, it's gonna pick the dedicated server that's the most like in between.
Yeah, maybe there's like a Chicago, like
try and like level out all the connections, but like
like a Kansas City
have servers
host
in every single spot to make it exactly even. So some matchups are gonna be like really really even, but there's gonna be matchups where it's just like. The server's just that much closer.
They definitely do favor someone. But at the same time, like, again, it's more fair than a team hosting. So,
like, LA versus New York, I could see that being a problem because, like, there's going to be a dedicated server, like, in Chicago. It's probably going to favor,
New York.
Yeah. So it's just, like, it's hard to figure that out.
Yeah, because then you're not switching hosts where, like, you have the advantage on one map. It's just, then you just have a disadvantage if you're LA on every single map.
Yeah. Which
can be tough. I mean, like, that's the pros and cons of a dedicated server, I'd assume. So, with that said, I don't know. It's like that's a reason that I kind of think maybe Rokkr, but like then what if the server picks Dallas and now suddenly they're dedicated host in Dallas itself? Like I don't know. So I don't think it's enough to sway my opinion though. I think the Empire at this point are just a little bit more fundamental team, and if Shotzzy and ILLeY are comfortable.
Yep.
In their own rooms, playing on their setups, I like Empire here.
Yeah, no, I think Empire might be the favorite here. I don't know, like to me, it's just hard to completely call out Rokkr though. Like,
oh yeah,
because if they're playing the same way they do on LAN, that's definitely going to be the X factor. Is if they can transfer it online, then I think it's very reasonable to assume that Rokkr could pull it out. Game 5 maybe, but
yeah. I mean, think about how big that Huntsman Rokkr matchup in the first round feels, because whoever wins that gets to play either the Guerillas or the Mutineers, where the loser has to play the Empire.
Pretty much guaranteed the Empire.
Yeah. So like that first round matchup with the Huntsman and Rokkr feels huge when you look at it in that regard for the path to go to the finals. So like that just added juice to that first round matchup with the Huntsman Rokkr. Yeah, I'm sticking with Empire. All right, Huntsman Guerillas for myself. Rokkr. Oh, we have 3 different matchups here.
Heyo.
Rokkr Mutineers for Rex and Huntsman Mutineers for Sam.
Cool.
Where are we at with this? Rex, start off. You're the most unique.
So Rokkr versus Mutineers. Rokkr.
That makes sense.
Easily. Rokkr has been looking really really strong. Mutineers, they're going to be a little bit weaker than I think they were in the past, possibly. So I'm going with Rokkr, and we've talked all about how good Rokkr is. So
yeah, I mean that'd be really interesting. The Mutineers getting into another Final Four like that. Sam, you have the Mutineers as well. Where are you at with this?
Oh no, I've got the Huntsman for
sure.
sure.
The Mutineers in the.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no.
In the bracket.
Mutineers not in the bracket. Huntsman take it.
Huntsman take it.
Pretty handily. I don't have any doubts or any concerns with that one. You got a strong team. Mutineers kind of got some doubts with them. Not having Prestinni, I don't know if it's like weird vibes or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Huntsman playing the Guerillas.
Yeah.
In this matchup here. Oh, sorry, chat, or sorry, boys. I don't have it pulled up on the screen. There you go. There's the bracket. Huntsman Guerillas. Man, well, they were scrimming tonight. It wasn't going the Huntsman's way.
Going for the scrims.
Yeah, it's going, and the Guerillas were hosting the scrims, so I mean that matters. It definitely matters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Huntsman here. They'll learn from their mistakes. They'll turn up when it matters. That's kind of how. That's generally how it goes. Is they beat teams they're generally far superior to, and it comes close. But it sometimes comes close in the finals. I wouldn't expect this to be a blowout by any means. Maybe a 3-1 or a Game 5 potentially. But I'll take the Huntsman and head into the finals to punch their ticket to a very juicy final here. Huntsman Empire for myself, Huntsman Rokkr for Sam, and Empire Rokkr for Rex. So we actually all again have 3 different grand finals.
Crazy.
That's the first time this year we've all had different grand finals in our picks here. So, all right, Rex. Once again, start us off. You got the Empire versus the Rokkr in the grand finals.
Here's the theory. So Sam, in the first round, you have Empire Rokkr. I honestly might have taken Rokkr in that matchup, but since the Empire beat the Huntsman for the first time,
They'll be feeling so good.
they're going to be feeling amazing, and that confidence will be so high going into that Rokkr matchup that I think that vibe, that good vibe, is going to take it so that Empire will beat the Rokkr. But I think it will be a close, possibly a close game. But I think Empire is going to take it off of just the elation of beating the Huntsman almost.
This is so big for the Empire. They have to win this. Right? I mean, because imagine if they don't win this. Like, how they'll feel like versus the Huntsman. Like, they've lost to the Huntsman 3 times now on LAN. Now they play in Dallas's quote-unquote home series. They're playing online where everybody expects Dallas to be great. In your scenario, they don't even get to play the Huntsman. They lose to the Rokkr. In my scenario, they're playing the Huntsman in the grand finals. Like, there's a lot going on here. Rex's scenario, they beat the Huntsman and overcame the glorious mountain. So where are you at with the Huntsman against the Rokkr, Sam?
I think I'm going to take the Rokkr on this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Wow, Sam.
Yeah. No, I know.
I would too. Honestly, I would too. I did.
I have.
Sam, you're betraying.
I'm sort of betraying Formal. Formal, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You did
Prove him wrong.
You did call me an idiot that one time, though.
He did.
So,
you idiot.
Yeah, you did.
We should have showed that.
Guys, Sam got
sometime.
turned on Formal when he played the Old Men of OpTic,
I
and
did.
he literally Sam missed his whole clip on Formal. He was so nervous.
I did.
He pissed his pants also.
It was a great
Sam
time.
had to reload though, and then he peeked
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he was
yeah.
reloading, and
It was a 1v2.
it's just
okay?
one of those
And
tiny mistakes.
Yeah, hey, it happens.
It happens.
The 1v2
Anyways.
also.
No room for mistakes against Formal.
There isn't,
No.
honestly.
But Rokkr, though, okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's your reasoning?
I just had this feeling that like them as a squad. Obviously, everyone wants to win, but I think this
This is it
roster
for the Rokkr.
is a championship winning squad.
Yeah.
And I think I could see it where you have a tournament where it's kind of a weird format. It's not weird format. It's a different format online. Things
Man,
changes.
The Rokkr be feeling good if they beat the Empire.
I think they'd be feeling amazing, and I don't know. I just think if they get to that point, they're taking
The
it.
matchups are so. I love the Rokkr Huntsman matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, if we end up with a Rokkr Huntsman or an Empire Huntsman or like a Rokkr Empire final, any of those combos, I will be so down for.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, all our grand finals are really entertaining.
Yeah, I love all of these matches.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
it's
so
really
interesting.
Crazy.
So hopefully one of them happen. I mean, it'd be pretty shocking if the Surge, Legion, Toronto, Mutineers end up in the finals.
Yeah,
So we'll
there's
see what
no
happens.
way.
But man, okay, so Rex has Dallas beating the Rokkr. Sam has Rokkr beating the Huntsman. And now I could be the little tiebreaker here, or I can create the circle of death and pick the Huntsman here. Man, I think this might be the time. I think this might be the time that the Huntsman lose to the Empire.
I think so.
I think it might be. It's like at the same time though, it's like it seems like when things matter the most and there's the most pressure, the Huntsmen usually show up and like they slack in matchups where they think they're going to win, but they're like this means so much to them. Like that's the counter argument. It's like this means so much to them. The Huntsmen are going to be going as hard as they can go to win this matchup, and like that's usually when the Huntsmen end up showing up to be the best.
Yeah.
But I think the Empire are on.
Wow.
They found their groove. I'm going to take the Empire to beat the Huntsmen in the finals.
Not gonna lie, I'm surprised by that pick from you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it's a good pick.
Well, of course you think it's a good pick.
I love the Empire.
Sam, in a world where the Empire played the Huntsmen in the grand finals like yours almost did.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the Rokkr beating the Empire. Would you have had the Huntsmen beating the Empire?
It's so hard because it's gonna be the 4th time.
Dude, they beat them 4 times.
Did they beat them 4 times in a row?
Online this time, which has to favor the Empire at least a little.
It's hard though, because like I think you can make 2 arguments. One, this is the 4th time playing them. They're online. Empire's the favorite,
which means the Huntsmen know the Empire are the favorites.
Yeah, and so the other argument is Huntsmen might just have.
They show up when they're not the favorites.
They show up when they're not the favorite. Maybe that like Crim and Clay just choke, or like they like
the Huntsmen are in
their
heads.
So like
that's the argument. I mean, it's a narrative either way.
Yeah,
it's a narrative either way.
Which one's the stronger
and
argument?
like we just don't know with the Call of Duty, like the matchups online right now. I mean, you'd have to assume like when you line them up face value, you're like, okay, come on, the Huntsmen are a better team. Like when you line them up face to face, you're like, okay, do you want Clay or Formal? Do you want Crim or Arcitys? Do you want Envoy or Hook? You know, like do you want Gunless or ILLeY?
ILLeY, yeah.
Do you like? It's just like every matchup. You're like, okay, the Huntsmen, but every bone in my body says the Empire are gonna beat them. So let's see what happens, man. I want to see. I know all of you Huntsman fans are already. You're typing away in the comments. You're like, Scump the Deformal, the witchcraft.
Oh boy.
Guys, I love the Huntsman, man.
Downloaded.
I know you love the Huntsman.
That just added like 9 more dislikes to the. I do love the Huntsman, guys. Come on, man.
Keep that in. Yeah.
I met Hex backstage at Champs. I'm like, dude, this is the awesome. Like, what a legend.
Oh gosh.
But hey, we'll see, man. All right, that's the podcast, guys. Leave all of your comments down below, especially you Huntsman fans. I know you're going to leave them. I want to hear the reason why. I like legitimately. Me to you, Huntsman fans. I want to hear the reason for why the Huntsmen are going to win this tournament, why they're better than the Empire, why they're better than the Rokkr, especially those 2 teams. And I want X factors. I want the nitty gritty. Give me like why they're going to win Gunrunner Hardpoint, why they're not going to play Gunrunner Dom. What's the X factor in Arclov Search and Destroy? I want to know.
And you know what I want to know?
Oh no!
I want to know
I know exactly
your
where
guys'
this is going.
top fave, hottest operators. So let's talk about it. Bring it in the comments. Let us know that you want to know who the hottest operators are, because we have the knowledge.
The more momentum.
And I am more than willing
It's a movement.
to give that to you guys.
Yeah.
It's them you have to talk to. So in the comments, hottest operators.
Rex will be the one leading that.
I will lead that podcast. I will lead that.
Oh, it's a whole
hottest
podcast now.
Oh, of course. How could you not make it a podcast? We're talking about the hottest operators here. How could you not make that a podcast?
It's not just a 10-minute segment. It's the whole day.
No, it's an hour-long
No, this is
extravaganza.
one segment, hottest operators.
An hour
it's a
long.
lot to go over.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys. That is the podcast. All right, guys.
podcast.
If you guys enjoyed it, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. If you guys are on YouTube, drop that rating that we're going to read next podcast on Apple Podcasts. And as always, guys, I'm Josh, SalvationsElite. To my right is Bash, Bo3. And to our farthest right is Rex, ShadyNero. And guys, we will see you next time. We